it is your boy Phoenix Brighton here, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Denver Broncos. And this team, this is probably the best team, I think, in the league, in my personal opinion, that is not inconsisting of the LA Rams. And I think that's for good reason. Now, before we get into today's video, like and subscribe here on the road to getting to, at least by the time I'm making this video, 500 subscribers. But anyways, or 700, not 500. What the frick am I saying? But anyways, with that out of the way, let's just get into the video. And the Broncos off season, I don't think was really anything big. I don't think it was like anything much of a game changer, except this one addition, which was the Jalen Waddle trade. Which, again, I think this is the right thing to do. Obviously, I think they needed a little bit more firepower on that offense. That is definitely what that does with Jalen Waddle. They also, looks like they didn't really add anybody else, actually, at least in this. It looks like they haven't. But they did lose some players. They lost John Franklin Myers and PJ Locke, Michael Burden, who was a fullback. They didn't lose much of major players. They also lost Derek Greenlaw as well. But that's kind of just about it in terms of all the people that they lost, at least this last season. So that's how all of that consists. So just to let you guys know. They also had, obviously, their draft. They didn't even have a they did have a second round pick, but they traded back into the third round where they went and got Tyler Akadine. They got also Joe Coleman. I think that could be a nice guy. Cage Casey out of Boise State. I liked him a lot as well. Very awkward, but this team, despite having not a lot of draft picks, went and drafted 2 tight ends. I did think that was pretty odd. I'm not saying drafting a tight end for them wasn't the worst decision in the world. I mean, I think they definitely could use the tight end, but I just thought it was a little bit weird that they went and considered drafting a tight end when they probably could have maybe, I don't know, drafted another quarterback or something. But I'm just saying that as an instance. And looking at their depth chart, I mean, this team is a pretty near complete team. You got Bo Nix, you got J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey as your kind of running back tandem. Your receiving core consists of Courtland Sutton, Jalen Waddle, Troy Franklin. Your tight end is Evan Ingram. You got a very good offensive line with Garrett Boyles, Brendan Powders, Luke Walterberg, Quinn Miners, and Mike McGlinchey. Your defensive line consists of Malcolm Roach, DJ Jones, and Zach Allen. A little bit of a weakness with Malcolm Jones, but not horrible. Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper are your edge, which linebackers have Alex Singleton and Justin Stray. Little bit of a weak spot there, I think. They're you never know with Justin Stray, but it's just maybe not the brightest of light spots. Again, Bobby Wagner's a free agent, just saying. You could go and sign him. Their secondary then consists of Riley Moss, Telefono Funga, Brandon Jones, Patrick Surtain, and Jaquan McMillan. Very, very great room that I honestly don't really have much complaints about. Again, besides their linebacking room, that's kind of my only big concern with this team. But besides that, this group of players are pretty darn good, and I would be very, very surprised if this team does not make it to the playoffs this year. This is, I think, in my opinion, the best team in the AFC. And I know people are going to probably say, no, it's the Chiefs or the Bills or something like that, but I think this is the team to beat in the AFC. And I think the roster kind of says it up all of its own. this roster is a very talented roster where there are not a lot of places. I would say this roster needs to improve. Like, yeah, they could improve their linebacker position, but I don't hate Alex Singleton. I don't hate him as a player, and I don't feel like they really have much of a worry, in my personal opinion. Also, you have Sean Payton, who's a great head coach, by the way. Then you got to take a look at their schedule. Obviously, they do play the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders twice a week, while they also go against the Jaguars, the Rams, the 49ers, the Seahawks, Cardinals, Panthers, and they have a bye week in week 10, the Steelers, the Dolphins, and it looks the Jets and the Bills and Patriots. So they do have one of the hardest schedules in the league, but granted, this is also one of the best teams in the league. So it's kind of hard for you to say, well, this isn't what you probably would expect. So that's why I think this is a very fair enough schedule. So obviously, let's talk about their floor if everything goes wrong. I do think the Chiefs could potentially sweep you in case of their floor, just because I think the Chiefs could be pretty good this year. I think. You will split the series with the Chargers. And I do think, though, you will sweep the Raiders regardless of how this whole situation works. I do think you will beat the Jaguars at home. I think regardless. You will lose to the Rams at home. I think you will lose to the Niners on the road. I think you will lose to the Seahawks at home. I do think you will beat the Cardinals on the road. You will lose to the... No, I think you'll beat the Panthers, actually, on the road. You will beat the Steelers on the road. You will beat the Dolphins at home. You'll beat the Jets on the road. I do think you will lose to the Bills, though, at home, and then lose to the Patriots on the road, putting their floor at a 9-8. Again, this is where if everything goes wrong, you could even maybe consider they split the series with the Chiefs, which that means to put their floor at 10-7. Then let's talk about their ceiling. I think they could definitely sweep their entire division. That's just me. I know people might disagree with that, but I think that's how their ceiling is going to work here. I do think you will beat the Rams at home, as weird as that might sound. I still think the 49ers will beat you on the road. I think that you will beat the Seahawks at home. Obviously, all the wins before apply. I think you will beat the Bills. I do think you will lose to the Patriots on the road, but that seems to be about it. Putting their ceiling at a remarkable 15-2, making this team one of the best teams in the league. Technically, it might be 14-3, just because they might just wrestle their starters with Week 18 if that scenario does end up happening. But that's just me. But obviously, you never know. Like, again, I really think people are gonna really I feel like people aren't talking about this team enough, and I'm gonna put this section to say that Bo Nix is extremely underrated. Like, I am tired of this people are saying, oh, Bo Nix is like the 18th best quarterback in the league or something like that. Like, I feel like a lot more people would be talking about Bo Nix if he won the Super Bowl. Like, come on, guys, grow up. Like, Bo Nix, in my opinion, is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say it right now. I will say it right now. Bo Nix is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. And I'm saying that as a Seahawks fan. That is insane. And people are putting Sam Darnold in, ninth at quarterback? And I'm like, what the frick? You guys crazy? Did you guys take something to make your list? Because that's what it seems like almost. Like, Bo Nix is such underappreciated quarterback, and it's so frustrating. And now he actually has another weapon outside of Courtland Sutton. No offense to Troy Franklin and also Evan Ingram. They're both great at their positions, but it's not like a Jalen Waddle-like player. And I think he also fits this team quite perfectly. They kind of have those like technical guys, while Jalen Waddle is more of a physical appearance with his speed, which I think that's also what this team could definitely use. And again, their defense is already one of the best in the league. Yeah, it did get worse losing John Franklin Myers and Drew Greenlaw, as I said before, but it's still probably going to be an insane unit. But that is it for today's video, and hope you guys enjoy, and do not sleep on the Broncos, okay? Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. See you in the next one.